So I was writing a video about Baldur's Gate 3. I have been for a while, in fact. I wrote the first draft, cleaned it up, recorded it, cleaned the audio, listened back to it, and decided that no. So I rewrote the draft, tried to focus my points a little more, recorded it, cleaned the audio, listened back to it, and no. No worries, I'll rewrite it again, and I did. Read the rewrite, decided that no. So that went in the trash. 2 more rewrites, both no. Then I decided that maybe I needed to broaden the topic a little bit. I was making a lot of points adjacent to another topic already, so let's merge the two, start from scratch. Wrote another script, cleaned it up, recorded it, cleaned the audio, listened back to it, and no. I was lying around at midnight, rolling around, trying to think about this script, and somewhere halfway between starfish and fetal position, I decided that I should just write a video about not being able to write a video. Because that's what I have been thinking about constantly. And then I thought, well, if you can't write the Baldur's Gate video, then what makes you think you can write this video? And it was then that I decided that I would just be violent about it. I was going to upload this video regardless of if I was happy with it or not, whether it was perfect or not, whether I thought people would even want to hear about it or not. In the process, maybe you'll figure out why you can't finish things either for some reason, even though you're really far along already, or maybe you do finish things. I cannot relate to that, but I am a little jealous.
Not taking breaks.
You should remember that one though, that one's a good one. This was the first one I ran into a lot. You've heard this one a few times by now if you're watching a video like this. If you don't take breaks, you'll have nothing new to tap into, and especially in the creative field, that means stagnation in the best case, creating absolutely nothing in the worst case. There's only so many times I can bring up Iorveth's questionable character and why it's fine, actually. No, he makes some good points if you just... Anyway, take breaks. Not just sleeping breaks, but mental breaks. If you always do the same thing to relax, it can quickly turn into a chore to tick off the list as well. Write script, edit footage, research hilarious new stream commands, stare at my cats for a while as a break. Actually, staring at my cats hasn't really gotten old yet, but I also can't write scripts about it. Unless...
You don't really want to finish.
That's what she said. Okay, this is a weird one. Sometimes we're a little resistant to change. If you're a perfectionist, hi, this one's for you. I'm talking to myself as well. Don't worry, you're in terrible company. You get all excited about making a thing. Then you start making the thing and realize it's hard, actually. You wallow for a while, but you get over it and start work again. Your work's almost done now. You're so close. But if you finished a project, you'll have to start a new one, which means thinking about a subject again, panicking because it's harder and broader than you thought, figuring out how to make it work anyway, and oh man, wouldn't it be so much easier and more comfortable to just tinker on this one a while longer? After all, why not make it perfect while you're at it? And if you're already a perfectionist, you're going to notice every tiny flaw, making it that much harder to just put a period behind that sentence. There's a metaphor in here somewhere about Baldur's Gate 3 and so many of my friends dropping the game in Act 3.
Completion anxiety.
Completion anxiety is the fear of being unable to finish the task or the fear that it will not meet the standards set by others. It's not wanting to finish things, is slightly more off-putting younger brother who eats sawdust. Except this one has nothing to do with wondering about the next looming project. This one has everything to do with the looming result of the current one. What if it's not good enough? What if I'm not good enough? What if they see that little mistake I left in? What if I'm not saying anything profound? This one is my biggest enemy. I have a script graveyard folder. In case you're interested, you're not, but this is my video and I can do what I want. Here's some of the completely finished scripts that I buried anyway for fear of their not being good enough. 3 really good indies. This one was about Skull the Hero Slayer, still a banger. Temtem, no longer a banger. And Little Misfortune, absolutely still a banger. A closer look at Cataclysm, about World of Warcraft Cataclysm and what went wrong and right and so on. Big MMOs and their problem. I wrote this one when MMOs were popping up left, right, and center, very outdated. Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Etiquette, a companion video of sorts to the Final Fantasy XIV dungeon guides I made. Those are gone now too. Why Witcher 1 and 2 weren't huge. Okay, yeah, I talk about The Witcher a bunch again in this one, big surprise. Wiedźmin, about the original Polish Witcher TV series. Probably good I didn't record that one on account of my pronunciation of Wiedźmin. There's a bunch more, not just in the fully finished category, but also the in progress folder. Videos about violence in video games, old Dutch games, notes in video games, Furbies, famous heists, pagan Christmas, Castlevania, Shakespeare, Thronebreaker. The list is very long. All half-written ideas. That's a lot of work wasted on anxiety. This type of anxiety doesn't usually come from nothing. YouTube didn't start as a job, I didn't expect it to grow, but it became a job, and it did grow, and with it, anxiety took root. You know that guy who said, "Find a job you enjoy doing and you will never have to work a day in your life"? Can we all pitch in for a time machine so we can travel back to punch him in the face for a minute? I'll bring the shovel, maybe throw the money doesn't buy happiness guy into the sea while we're at it. Until then, let's go over the main video creation anxieties people have. I don't have all of these, but let's be complete, and I like to keep them guessing. If you don't make videos, just replace videos with words like article or extensive novella or video pilot pitching a show you'll hope runs for 6 seasons in a movie.
I'm not saying anything profound.
Okay, and most YouTubers don't. SESs are just really good at pretending.
You thought I was
Profound.
didn't you? Acting.
Not everything has to be an esoteric exploration of the human soul, actually. Do you remember the Stanley Cup craze? Not the hockey league, the extremely mediocre water containers. Every single commentator and their cats have made a video about those cups. They all said the exact same thing. Cup silly! Haha, people all buying cups are silly. Look at the silly people buying the cup, haha. I still watched all of those videos. You don't have to be profound. Not saying your videos don't have to be good, but you do have to make videos at all for anyone to have an opinion on them to begin with. But maybe don't make another video about Stanley Cups. That subject has been well and truly sucked dry. The current thing is weird at-home applied veneers, I think.
If someone else already made it, I can't.
Vaguely related to the above to a point. I've made videos in the past on subjects that others have also made videos on. I have not seen those other videos. I actively avoid them. When I'm writing a script on, say, the nesting habits of the orange-crowned warbler, I don't want other people's opinions on the nesting habits of the orange-crowned warbler to influence my writing. Having said that, you can only say so much about the nesting habits of the orange-crowned warbler. My points will likely overlap with other videos on the nesting habits of the orange-crowned warbler, and there's nothing I can do about that. People will come to your videos accusing you of copying someone else or something or the other, but it's important to keep in mind that there is no truly original thought left in this world. Everything that could possibly be said about the nesting habits of the orange-crowned warbler has been said and written thrice over. But your video might be someone's first contact with the nesting habits of the orange-crowned warbler, and you'll have introduced someone to a whole new interest. Who cares what other people are making and doing? You are not them. So, do you?
My camera/lighting/microphone quality is too bad to post.
Only the microphone is valid here. Invest in a solid microphone. It's very important. I don't have to look at the screen, but I'll be listening regardless. If you really don't want to be on camera, don't be on camera. If your lighting is bad, a neat trick is to get 2 reasonably priced big lights and point them next to each other facing the wall, one vaguely to the left and one vaguely to the right, for some vaguely soft lighting. Not everyone can afford high-end gear. I am currently recording on my C920 Logitech cam, solid 2012 tech. It's not great, but it'll do. Are you really going to stare at my face the whole time? Of course not. Especially if you have a cat. You're listening to me while looking at your cat. I'm looking at my cat while recording this script half the time.
Okay, but if I'm on camera, what if people don't think I look good? I literally just left to stream for about 5 hours here. Twitch.tv/GenZ.
If people are purely there to ogle you, then it literally doesn't matter what you make. If people just like your voice, then it literally doesn't matter what you make. Find the audience that cares about your content. I struggled with this for a while too. I'm not thrilled with having people look at me. Had I started this streaming and YouTube thing later in life, I probably would have been a VTuber. But here's the thing. When I started making videos, I didn't show my face. It was all voiceover. People still watch my stuff. If you hold yourself back because you're afraid your audience isn't going to think you're hot, you'll never get comfortable. Find yourself an audience that likes you in your no makeup shark onesie as much as your fancy dress full face makeup.
The video has to be long.
Long videos are very in right now. They do well in the algorithm and you can put lots of ads in them. Ads about Stanley Cups. Please don't buy a Stanley Cup, they're a massive waste of money. But what if you don't have that much to say? I'll be honest, a lot of extremely long deep dive videos have a lot of fat to trim. Making a video long for the sake of it doesn't make for a very good video. Make your stuff as long as you need it to be to say what you need to say. Whether that's 5 minutes or 2 hours, doesn't matter. We already bend over backwards for YouTube in every conceivable way, and to be quite honest, I don't think YouTube even knows what its algorithm wants. I've been recommended videos with completely garbled titles that turned out to be great. Sometimes I find absolute gems of channels with only 100 subs only to come back a week later and see them hit 1 million. YouTube works in mysterious ways, so do what you want, especially me. I'm full-time on Twitch now, twitch.tv/Ginzy. Come hang out. I'll show you my cats, maybe talk about the nesting habits of the orange-crowned warbler or, The Witcher. Again. But perhaps I just don't have anything more to say. But that can't be true because I stream on Twitch and therefore do not possess the reasonable capability to shut up. I'm going to challenge myself to just write a video without wondering about other people too much. Every video I've loved but thought no one else would care for has done well. Better than well. My first ever offbeat video was 22 things I wish I'd known sooner in Stardew Valley. I was doing World of Warcraft guides at the time, but I just really wanted to make this video. It's sitting at over 5 million views now. It is, and will always be, my most viewed video. I've deleted most of my old catalog now, so nobody gets my current course confused, but I will always keep that one live on this channel to remind me that I can do what I want. Actually, I've been gone for a while, and in case you missed the update video that I made and deleted, because it really was just that, an update video, the too long didn't watch is I stream full-time on Twitch now. I decided I can't do both, and Twitch won out, at least for now. I turned the playthroughs into edited compilations though, if you're interested. They make me laugh, and it's been good to just take time off from constantly writing, constantly working. I hadn't taken a break from that at all for about 10 years since starting, and it was time. I'll still be making stuff here too, as said, but it won't take precedence over Twitch, or the compilations, or staring at my cats anymore. I also won't be using my face in most videos anymore. I felt this video needed my face at certain points, and it's why it took so long to film. I don't like filming my face. Hopefully you'll still enjoy voiceovers. Thanks for being here. You're way cooler than all the other people watching this video. I promise.